So he cried, and his outcry stirred in them all a deep desire to grieve. And dawn, with a rose-red finger, shone upon them, weeping round the wretched corpse. At daybreak, King Agamemnon ordered parties of men and mules to haul in timber. When they reached the site Achilles had pointed out, they laid Patroclus down and swiftly built his body a fitting height of timber. And now the great runner remembered one more duty. Stepping back from the pyre, he cut the red gold lock he had let grow long as a gift to the river god Spercheius. Scanning the wine-dark sea, he prayed in anguish, Spercheius, all in vain my father Peleus vowed to you that there, once I had journeyed home to my own dear fatherland, I'd cut this lock for you and offer splendid victims. Now, since I shall not return to the fatherland, I'll give my friend this lock, and let the hero Patroclus bear it on his way. With that, Achilles placed the lock in his dear comrade's hand, and stirred in the men again a great desire to grieve. And now the sunlight would have been upon their tears if Achilles had not turned to Agamemnon quickly. Atreides, you are the first armies will obey. Even of sorrow men can have their fill, so now dismiss them from the pyre. Let them prepare an evening meal. We are the closest to the dead. We will attend to things here. Hearing his wish, the Lord of Men, Agamemnon, dismissed the troops at once to the balanced ships. But the chief mourners stayed in place, piled timber and built a pyre 100 feet in length and breadth, and aloft it laid the corpse with heavy aching hearts. Achilles set 2 handled jars of honey and oil beside him, leaned them against the bier, and then with wild zeal slung the bodies of 4 massive stallions onto the pyre and gave them a wrenching groan. And the dead Lord Patroclus had fed 9 dogs at table. He slit the throats of 2, threw them onto the pyre, and then a dozen brave sons of the proud Trojans he hacked to pieces with his bronze. Achilles' mighty heart was erupting now with slaughter. He loosed the iron rage of fire to consume them all. Farewell, Patroclus! Even now at the hour of death! All that I promised once, I have performed at last. Here are 12 brave sons of the proud Trojans. All the fire that feeds on you devours them all, but not Hector, the royal son of Priam. Hector I will never give to the hungry flames. Wild dogs will bolt his flesh. So he threatened. But the dogs were not about to feed on Hector. Aphrodite, daughter of Zeus, beat off the packs day and night, anointing Hector's body with oil, ambrosia oil of roses, so that Achilles could not rip the prince's skin as he dragged him back and forth. The winds rose with a superhuman roar, stampeding clouds before them. Suddenly reaching the open sea in gale force, they raised the good rich soil of Troy and struck the pyre. And the huge inhuman blaze went hurling up the skies. All night long they hurled the flames, mast on the pyre, blast on screaming blast. And all night long the swift Achilles, lifting a 2-handled cup, dipped wine from a golden bowl and poured it down on the ground and drenched the earth, calling out to the ghost of stricken god Patroclus. As a father weeps when he burns his son's bones, dead on his wedding day, and his death has plunged his parents in despair, so Achilles wept as he burned his dear friend's bones, dragging himself around the pyre, choked with sobs.